What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this discussion about several things. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is what everybody else is talking about for the past few days, and that's the Titan submarine. So it was announced today, June the 22nd, 2023, that everybody on board of the Titan submarine perished. There was some type of an implosion. All 5 lives were lost, and it's a very sad situation. I'm not sure if they died during the implosion or if they had died from running out of oxygen before the implosion, but as of today, they're saying that they are no longer alive. And we've been following this story for the past few days. So many people were hoping that a miracle would happen, but that was not the case. Now, a lot of people have been joking about, the things that rich people do with their money, calling their decision to get into the submarine, which was, I'm thinking it was made by the owner of the submarine or something like that. It wasn't like any type of military grade type of submarine. And so the fact that the passengers decided to pay $250,000 for a place in the submarine to go down nearly to the bottom of the ocean to view the Titanic, the wrecked 1912 cruise ship, the Titanic. A lot of people have been making jokes about this. Now, what makes me sad is that these people at some point realized that they were going to die, and all they could do is just wait for that to happen. And that is what keeps me from joining into the arena of jokes and laughing about this and thinking this is a really funny situation, because it's not. The whole topic of, rich people and the weird, strange things they do with their money, when there's people out there who really need money, when they make their money off the backs of hourly wage earners, et cetera, that I understand where that's coming from. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I just don't agree with laughing at a situation where these people who are not bad people, they're not out there harming other people. They're just choosing a different way to use their money that, maybe the average person wouldn't do. I'm just thinking about how these people were stuck in that vessel and they were waiting for their death. They're waiting to die. When I think about that, it sombers me up very quickly, because regardless of why they were there or how they got there, something was going on that these people were in a situation where they knew that there was no escape, that there was no way they were going to survive this, and that they were waiting to die. And the saddest part of all is that the youngest victim was only 19 years old. And that's what I really wanted to talk about. So the 19-year-old passenger, his name was Suleiman Dawood, and he was the son of Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood, and his father was also with him in the submarine. Now, what broke my heart was when they said that Suleiman's aunt, which is the sister of his father, says that the father was very passionate about the 1912 shipwreck, the Titanic, and had pressured his son into coming with him on this vessel to go and explore the Titanic, that he only went there to please his dad. That's what broke my heart, that he felt pressured either from the love of his father or whatever the situation was. He couldn't tell his father no. He felt pressured into getting into this vessel. And at the age of 19, he lost his life when he really didn't even want to go, according to the aunt. Now, keep in mind, the aunt has been estranged from her brother, Shahzada Dawood. They have been estranged because she has some type of debilitating disease where she takes cannabis to help with the pain, and the family was against her taking this cannabis. And so because of that, she's somewhat estranged from the family and was estranged from her brother, who lost his life on the Titan. So But when I read the story about how the 19-year-old son really didn't want to go, it kind of broke my heart. This is according to the aunt, of course. This is not, and I haven't seen any quotes from the mother or the sister confirming this, but this is what the aunt said, that he really didn't want to go. And he felt pressured by his father, probably wanted to please his father, probably out of the love of his father, knowing how much his father was excited about this trip. He went ahead against his better wishes and he went ahead and got on this vessel. And now his life is over. So that right there, that story right there broke my heart. Now let's kind of move on from there and lighten the mood just a little bit with some celebrity gossip. Let's talk about Kevin Costner. I've talked about Kevin Costner before. I don't know what he did to make his soon-to-be ex-wife, his estranged wife, Christine Baumgartner. I don't know what he did to make this woman mad, but this woman is pissed off. Now, I've been wondering, trying to figure out what happened between these two people. At first, rumors were circulating that she was upset because he had gotten somebody pregnant on the set of Yellowstone. Well, those rumors were made null and void. That was not the case. Then there were rumors about that she was upset with Kevin Costner because he was spending way too much time on the set of Yellowstone. So he went ahead and he cut back how much time he was spending on Yellowstone. I think he's not even this was his last season or something. So he was completely removing himself from Yellowstone. But then he jumped into another project, a Civil War epic film that he is working on, which is causing him to spend just as much time away from home as he was when he was on Yellowstone. So then that really wasn't the issue. And Christine Baumgartner has come out and said it's got nothing to do with Yellowstone. It's got nothing to do with any of his projects. We have problems. And for the time being, I prefer to keep these issues private. For the sake of their family, she doesn't want to talk about the real reason why she had filed for divorce. So when I read the article, I think it was on dailymail.com, I was shocked at what was going on here. So she's already filed for divorce. She's upset, number one, that Kevin Costner told their 3 children, and I think they range in age from 13 to 16. According to Christine, Kevin Costner told their children that they were getting a divorce via Zoom. She had wanted to tell the children in person. She had wanted the news to come from both of them. But he decided upon himself to tell the children outside the presence of their mother, to tell the children that him and their mom are going to be getting a divorce. And he told them via Zoom. And it was like a 10-minute conversation and he was done. So that right there, I was like, what? And then on top of all of that, Kevin Costner claims he's homeless because Christine Baumgartner refuses to leave the family home. They had a prenuptial agreement from whenever they got married 11 years ago. I don't know how many years ago it was. Whenever they got married, they already had a prenuptial agreement. And in their prenuptial agreement, it states that if they should split, she has, I think, 30 days to vacate the property. Well, she's still there. It's been more than 30 days and she is still there. So he doesn't want to stay in the house with her, so he can't come back home because she refuses to leave. And so now he claims that he's homeless. This is a $145 million estate. It is big enough to comfortably house 27 people. It had 12 bedrooms and 14 bathrooms or something. 27 full-grown people can live in this estate comfortably. So even though he claims he's homeless, he does have an $80 million mansion in the state of Colorado. She is requesting $248,000 in child support. She believes that this is fair. $248,000 per month in child support in order for the children to maintain the lifestyle that they have been accustomed to. So let's talk about that real quick. When it comes to having children by extremely wealthy men extremely wealthy men, and maybe the mother of the child thinks that, oh, I had a baby with a ball player, I had a baby with a rapper, so I'm about to get paid and get all this money. Well, you have to prove that your child is used to living a certain type of lifestyle. So if I was an attorney for these celebrities, for these rappers or ball players or actors, and they're out there having babies willy-nilly, I would encourage my male client to, and I'm not an attorney, I would encourage my male client to, as soon as you find out that you are the biological father of said child, and if you think that the mother, she's trying to get a come up from you because this wasn't a real relationship, it was a fling, a one night stand, whatever the situation may be, after paternity has been established and confirmed, I would suggest to my client put in a child support order as quickly as possible, because then you won't be forced to pay this exorbitant amount of child support, because once your child starts growing and gets used to a certain lifestyle because their father is wealthy, then your child support is going to be astronomical, because the courts are going to say, yes, the child has the right to maintain the lifestyle that they've been living for the past, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 years. They have horses at their disposal. They travel in private jets. They live in luxurious mansions. They go to private school. They have nannies and tutors and governesses. All of this stuff the child is used to. So you have to maintain this lifestyle for the child, because the courts are always looking out for what's in the best interest of the child. So if you are a baller, rapper, actor, a businessman, someone who's extremely wealthy, and you have a baby by someone, get that child support order in place as soon as possible, because a newborn doesn't have a certain lifestyle that they're accustomed to. If they're not even a year old yet, they're not riding horses, they're not traveling in jets, they're not going to private school. There is no lifestyle for them to be accustomed to. The only lifestyle they're accustomed to is a lifestyle of whatever the mother is living. So if the mom is someone who has an average lifestyle, she has an average home, an average job, well, then her child support is going to be very much average. But I digress. So because these kids are between the ages of 13 and 16, Kevin Costner is their dad, married to their mom for so many years. Yeah, he's going to be paying quite a bit of money for child support, because these children were accustomed to a certain lifestyle. She says $248,000 per month is fair. That's her compromise. According to, state law, and according to his income, he should be paying $152,000 per month, about $100,000 less than what she's requesting. But Christine Baumgartner says, I'm going to compromise with you at $248,000 per month in child support, because 152, my kids are going to be starving. She actually thinks that what's actually appropriate to really maintain the kids' lifestyle is $330,000 per month in child support. That's what she believes the children actually need. But she's going to what do they say? She's going to tough it out, or try to make do with only $248,000 per month. So we've talked about their child support issues. I've already talked about how she refuses to leave the family home. She says she's not going to leave until her and Kevin have come to some type of agreement on her financial demands. Kevin Costner claims that he has already given her $1 million since they've separated, and this is to help her get a new home. She says, I'm not touching that money because I know what you're trying to do, Kevin. According to Christine, there's something in their prenuptial agreement that says that if she accepts a certain amount, which I think is $1 million from him, that's her basically saying, okay, I'll take $1 million from you to start this new life, but I also agree to not challenge the prenup. So that's why she hasn't touched the $1 million, and she's still living in that home, because she knows that there's something in their agreement that says if she touches that money, which she has set aside, I'm assuming in a special account, that if she touches that $1 million, then she can't challenge the prenup, and she's stuck like Chuck. So that's what's going on with Kevin Costner. I hope at some point, because their business is all over the blogs and the news, we find out exactly what pissed off Miss Baumgartner, because she is not playing with this man. She is absolutely not playing. What do they say about a woman scorned? She's probably very mad at herself for signing that prenuptial agreement. Plus, in the court documents, she talks about how they met. She was 18. I think he was like 36 when they first met, but they hadn't started dating then. They began dating a few years later. I think she was 25 years old when the relationship got serious. She goes through all of that, the history of their relationship. And then there was also there was a report that she took his credit card and spent and ran up $95,000 on a shopping spree. This woman is upset, and I really would love to know what made her so mad, but maybe we'll never find out. So moving on from one issue to another, let's talk about Robert De Niro again. So this time it's got nothing to do with Tiffany Chen, the mother of his newborn baby girl. It's got nothing to do with him being a geriatric and still having children. This has everything to do with his assistant. So he has an assistant by the name of Graham Chase Robinson. She's a young lady of about 37 years old. Her and Robert De Niro are actually suing each other. They're like in an embattled legal action. The assistant is suing the actor, and he is suing her. De Niro accuses her of abusing company credit cards and stealing 5 million frequent flyer miles after she resigned from his company. He's also accusing her of binge watching Friends, Arrested Development, and Schitt's Creek while on the clock. The assistant, Graham Robinson, she has filed a lawsuit for gender discrimination against Robert De Niro. She says over the past 11 years of her employment, she has been subjected to gender discrimination. She's been saying that he's making her do certain things that he doesn't make his male assistants or his male employees do. And he's making her do these things because she says that Robert De Niro has an antiquated view of female and male gender roles. And he thinks that women, it doesn't matter who they are, whether they work for him or they, share a bed with him. He believes that women are subservient to men and that they have to do certain tasks that he would never ask a male employee to do. So she says that one of the things that she had to do, she had to scratch his back. She had to button his shirts, tie his ties, wake him up in his hotel room, and also do his laundry and his cleaning. And she says that he would never ask any of his male assistants to do that. Robert De Niro's girlfriend, Miss Tiffany Chen, the martial arts instructor who bamboozled him into getting her pregnant, in my personal opinion, Miss Tiffany Chen, she claims that this assistant, Graham Robinson, is in love with Robert De Niro. She claims that she is in love with Robert De Niro and that she has been moving in on her man, and so she had to tell Robert De Niro to get rid of her. There's text messages and emails in the court documents alleging this stuff. So when she got the inclination, and this has been going on, this feud between Graham Robinson and Tiffany Chen and Robert De Niro has been going on ever since Robert De Niro was going through his divorce with his last wife. And I forgot her name, unfortunately, the mother of his last two children. So anyway, Miss Tiffany Chen says that she told Robert De Niro, this girl is in love with you. You need to get rid of her. Robert De Niro, he went along with what Tiffany Chen said, and he was like, yes, my love. Yes, I do have to get rid of her. So Chen stripped Robinson of any duties that required her to be inside of Robert De Niro's home because she was getting very suspicious and very jealous of of what she believed was, Robinson having feelings for Robert De Niro. This article was so bizarre. So, she wanted to separate her man, Robert De Niro, from this assistant because she thinks that the assistant was putting the moves on her man. And the assistant also says that, part of her gender discrimination, she also claims that Robert De Niro treated her like his office wife. She denies that she had any romantic feelings for Robert De Niro. And so she claims that, Tiffany Chen is completely out of her mind. Robinson is seeking 2 years. This is what she's seeking. She's seeking 2 years of her annual $300,000 salary. So basically she wants to get paid $600,000. She also wants continued health insurance, and she also is demanding a letter of recommendation. That's what kind of tripped me up. I'm like, okay, this is a very contentious lawsuit. You and Robert De Niro do not see it for each other because she claims that during her employment, De Niro would cuss her out, call her out of her name, call her all kinds of B's, yell at her, scream at her, embarrass her, humiliate her. But she wants a letter of recommendation from him. He is suing her for $6 million, and the assistant is suing him for $12 million. And they have a court date coming up in October. Hopefully, the blogs will talk about how that court date is coming up. This is really interesting, to me at least, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.